What's up, YouTube? So today I'm going to be showing off my Rocket deck profile post Rockets Revolt. In the Revolt structure deck we got a lot of good support. So first off, the new Rocket, triple Rocket Tracer. So let me make sure that I get these in the frame. Okay. So triple Rocket Tracer. So this card is really just your extender. He can pop a card and search some special summon, so he allows you to get 2 rockets for the price of 1. Next up is Router, running that at 3 as well. And Router is special summonable from your hand if you control a rocket, and when he goes to the grave, he gets you a rocket to your hand. So really useful. Next up, I run only 2 of the silver rockets. Really just an out to Sky Striker Kagari and Heavy Metal Foes Electromite. Pop them, and you got no problems. Now for older rocket support, I've got triple Magna Rocket. He is the out to literally everything else. If you're having issues getting rid of a card, say you can't target, it literally just says send card to the grave. So cards that can't be destroyed by card effects are not safe. The double auto rocket. It's not the best card in the deck, but it's definitely not the worst. I run it at 2, and I recommend running it at 2. Shell Rocket at 2. He's really good for getting you into your other plays. I would actually like to open up him and possibly the Boot Sector launch, which we'll get to in a sec, and I'll explain that when that time comes. It just makes it a lot easier to get my plays rolling if I have either Shell Rocket and Auto Rocket in my hand. Metal Rocket, another really good card. Just really sets the plays as a one of. Exploder Rocket, another basically a burner destruction card. You want to destroy him. Rocket Synchron, this deck doesn't synchro, but it can synchro, so keep that in mind. So running some synchros in the deck does make other plays optional. That should be the end of the Rockets. He actually, Rocket Synchron also has the effect of when he's normal summoned, you can special summon a dragon from the grave with a specific. So you can bring back your Router. Their effects are negated until end of turn. So, and it allows you to go into your synchro and link plays. Keeper Dragon Shrine, Keeper of the Shrine, and Red Eyes Darkness Metal both help this deck extremely. Darkness Metal being a in-deck boss and being able to revive dragons is really helpful. The first spell is the triple quick launch. This card is absolutely a must run 3 for the fact it's just that good. Squib Draw, I personally run it at 3. Oh, wait. There it is. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, triple Squib Draw. For those of you that don't know what Squib Draw does, you target a rocket, blow it up, and then you get to draw 2 cards. And this actually I actually run the 3 because if I draw into 1, it's a free 2 of because you don't lose anything on the deal. So it's literally pot of greed that gives you an extra effect. So, Boral Regenerator, basically your monster reborn for the deck, with the added bonus of if you use this card, they get not only a buff, but when it leaves the field, you get a draw. So it does plus, and on top of that, it gives you the advantage of getting 3 draws if you combo it off with Swift Draw. Boot Sector Launch, the primary field spell of the deck, and is actually good for not only early game but late game as well. I run the 1 Rapid Trigger and the double poly. Rapid Trigger is good if I control the monsters, but if I'm wanting to start off my plays with a special summon and not a normal summon, Poly's actually better, because I can fuse from my hand, and then I can normal summon, and then pop. So, because Rapid Trigger, you have to control the monsters. Dragon Shrine, you send Apsa Router, you get your search, and everything's hunky-dory. For the main trap in the deck, I run Mirror Force, triple. You could run Red Reboot, you could run just really any traps and any disruption traps. And I'll also be showing off cards that I recommend substituting those for, because I side deck a good bit of things that you can add to make some plays a little bit easier. So next up we have the triple Boral load. Now I am using the commons for this, due to the fact that I actually prefer common cards, for those of you that don't know. If they have a common version, I like to get those, because for people who use sleeves, this isn't this big of a deal, but people who store cards without sleeves, foils have a tendency to start fading over time, and that causes a massive issue, and then you have cards that you can't play in tournaments. So Topologics, I run the Zero Boros and Bomber. Bomber is really, really good for blowing up your rockets and then getting searches at the end of your turn. And if you're really pretentious about it, make sure that you don't blow up and special summon them to those arrows, because you're wanting your opponents to do that. So Triple Burst. I go into him maybe once a duel if I have no Link 2s or I'm Link climbing. And usually it's to Link climb into one of the Topologics. Quad Boral. Really, really solid. Allows you to blow up Link monsters. I recommend blowing up these guys. And you get to summon rockets for the Link rating. And then Booster is another one of those Link 2s that you really want to run in this deck, that the moment that it goes to the grave, you can special summon a dragon-type monster from your graveyard. Dark Dragon, I should say. And that helps so much. The Black Rose Dragon, another option for mass searching at the end of your turn. It can really just make or break the deck, honestly. Because the more, if you blow up all of your rockets on the field and you have multiple that have searches, not only are you wiping out your opponent's board, but on top of that, if you use the cards on the field from a previous turn, like it becomes one of those situations where it basically opens up OTKs. Scarlight Red Dragon, for those of you that have played this card, you already know what it does. I'm not going to sit here and explain it. Next up is the final card in the deck, Borreload Furious Dragon. Now, I do recommend, if you're going to be running a Starving Venom, taking out one of the Borreloads, because you don't need 3, but this dude is your win condition, plus enables you to get Borreload back from the grave, or Topologic, depending on the situation in the game state. Really, as long as you know what's good in the game state you're in right now, Furious is the best option. And then finally, let's go on to the cards that I side deck for this deck. Now, one of the things that this deck has a real issue of is negation, mainly disruption spells. So Twin Twister just really helps you, and because you do get 3 of it if you buy the structure deck or the structured decks and build it that way, you should have no issue. Swords of Revealing Light, I run it at 3. It's really good for dealing with beat stick decks. Like, I find that this card right here seems to disrupt all Blue Eyes players for at least a turn or two, so I'm able to start comboing off a little bit easier. I also have cited 3 Scapegoat. For those of you that are not aware on how Scapegoat works, it allows you to basically, on your opponent's turn, get 4 monsters, which you should know what this does in the link format. On your turn, you link them goats away and get some pretty chunky monkeys on the field. Another option for siding it against primary OTK decks is Magic Cylinder. No one expects Magic Cylinder, and a lot of times they think they got bored, and then you end up popping that instead of Mirror Force, and it screws their plays up completely because this doesn't destroy. So a lot of cards that can't be destroyed by card effects are still susceptible to Magic Cylinder. Then finally is Red Reboot. My locals has a lot of people who play a lot of traps, mainly Altergeist Dark World decks, and this is my out to that. And honestly, I would rather half my life points than let some of their traps go off. So, because some of them can stall this deck for quite a while. So that is the deck profile and sighting options for you guys. Another option would be to add, like, Borreload Savage, Borreload Exceed, and maybe even adding in a couple Ash Blossom. Guard Dragons is definitely a good option for this in particular build. So, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and peace out.